What's compact, feature packed, and slightly awkward at times? No, this video is not about me, cheeky. Rather, we're going to be taking a look at what I've got in my pocket, the Sony RX100 Mark V. Let's crack on. It's dead compact. It's 101.6 by 58.1 something mil. It weighs 299 grams with the battery in the card, and as you can see, it's super easy to put in your pocket and move around. It could well be the best travel camera. You know, for those of you that don't want to be carrying anything that you need an extra bag for, traveling around, this, slip it in your pocket, you're away. Trouser pocket, jean pocket, short pocket, whatever pocket, snooker pocket, Pop-Tart pocket, I don't know. But it's not just compact. Sony marked it as a premium compact. But yes, this is feature packed, packed to the brim. You're getting full resolution 20 million pixel files at 24 frames per second for up to 150 frames. And that's phenomenal for something of this size. This is all about technology at its finest. It features a arguably 1 inch, it's 1 inch type, not 1 inch size, 20 million pixel sensor. It's an XMOR RS sensor, and it's a CMOS sensor that produces a 5472 by 3648 output size. The processor is very decent. It's a Bionz X with front end LSI. Google it, see what that's about. It's got a great range when it comes to the mechanical and the electronic shutter. The ISO 125 to 128,000. You can extend that with a little trick to start at 80 or 100 if you want. You've got 24 frames per second continuous shooting, 4K video mode, full output, but up to 5 minutes. I guess it's going to overheat if it's able to go past that. And really, this thing is chocked to the brim. And arguably, you could say you get what you pay for. Similar to some top-end DSLR cameras, this has super phase detection, autofocus. That 24 frames per second continuous shooting means that even though it's a premium compact, even though it's a small little thing, man, you can use this for some serious things. For example, I was wandering around the docks in London, Royal Docks XL Marina, and I saw some wakeboarding going on. I thought, oh, I'll just throw this into the correct mode if I've worked out how to do it, and it seemed to handle it super well. Now, obviously, what I'm showing you is just my first attempts at it, nothing perfect at all, but I was blown away with the power in this thing. I mean, it was doing stuff that I would really only expect from the high-end DSLRs, but obviously with a much smaller sensor. As for those video features, again, you can go right down to 960 frames per second with the slow motion recording. That 4K is great if you're into that kind of stuff. You got burst shooting, you got Wi-Fi functionality, it's got NFC. The app is actually decent. I used it while I was down in London just to transfer files off this onto my iPhone to post to Instagram and share with some friends. But you know what? Fully featured. We've said it again, compact, feature packed. But why did I say it's awkward? As you can imagine, with all that technology crammed into this tiny little body, life gets a bit awkward at times. For example, the battery life is pretty duff if you're pushing this to its limit. For me, it wasn't a huge problem because I wasn't going crazy, and I had moments in a day where I could just plug it in to the USB, which is a fantastic thing that should be on all cameras now, and just top up the battery. So in the use that I gave it over the weekend down in London, I didn't have a problem. But if I was to buy this camera, I would get a few more of these little batteries, tiny little things, and then I wouldn't even have to worry about USB charging if for some reason I didn't want to be putting the camera down for an hour or two. At this price level, really, I think I would expect a touchscreen, and I would assume on the Mark VI, which will probably be out before this video gets uploaded, sorry Sony, you get a little touchscreen. For me, the bonus with the touchscreen would be selecting the autofocus points. I mean, you can rock it down here and you can move across and get the points and change the size of it, but it would be nice, especially in selfie mode, to just be able to press on it and trigger a shot, for example, as I do with the 80D. That would be beautiful. Sony, if you're listening, that's one of the steps that you want to take, I guess. If you've got small hands, the buttons are going to be tiny for you, but of course it's a compact camera. You're not going to be looking at this thing if you generally have problems with your hand. And the same goes with the grip. Doesn't really have a grip. There's a little thing you can get to stick on here if you really want to, but it's a compact camera. What do you expect? People still have beef with the Sony menu system. I found it was simple to get through. It was fast. It was not a big deal. I didn't find it that convoluted as many would say. Yeah, maybe again with a touchscreen you could flick around it a bit quicker. It's got the function buttons on the function button, I should say, on the back there, so you can access certain things quickly. You know, people moan that it doesn't have certain features like other buttons. I mean, the exposure compensator, you have to press down and rock across, but it's a compact camera. Don't forget, it might be chocked to the brim, but it's still going to be awkward, and extra awkward because of that extra power that it's carrying. I broke my screen. Out of respect for photography, image quality is always number one. But of course, you can get similar, better, whatever image quality and features in bigger cameras. So that's why I say the compact nature of this camera is its number one selling point, and then the image quality, obviously. And I found the image quality to be frankly superb. I wasn't let down, especially considering the price that you'd pay for this camera. Even when you use the clear image technology, I think it's called, and you zoom beyond the 70mm, you can really use that sensor to squeeze a bit more juice out. The autofocus gets you in, so you can get the image just as you want, and you can move the exposure compensator around. A little bit more awkward than some of your bigger cameras, of course, due to the nature of the body. Maybe there's a way they could incorporate toggling the exposure compensator even quicker than you currently can, but you know, one of those personal little things. But I found it was nice. Even the bokeh was nice and smooth if you use it correctly. The colors were spot on. The contrast was right there, and in fact I shot a lot of it in RAW and JPEG to compare, and the dynamic range is fantastic. Image quality is right up there, 9 out of 10. Along with the autofocus, 9 out of 10. Nothing's perfect, but really enjoyed it for that. Even in low lights, maybe getting to the top end of the ISOs, as you'd expect, pushing it quite a bit, but yeah, nice. I'm not very good at handheld, frankly, when it comes to video, so the stabilization in this thing needs to do me proud. Check this out. You can actually very slowly zoom in until it's just not flattering at all. Another random side of the motorway. Yes, one of those sound tests. How does it sound? And actually, is it tracking me? I move back and I look on the screen and it appears to be tracking my face. Now I've put the shades on, it seems to be fine. 1.8, and I haven't adjusted anything else. As I say, normally doing manual, so how is it working? How close can I get before it gets really confused? And obviously I expect the sound to be completely out when I move all the way back. I don't know, on the screen it looks decent, so let's stop this with this awkward button. Would I spend £1,000 on this camera? Well, you know what, if I had £1,000 and I needed something that would fit in my pocket, but that could do almost everything and fight with some of the big boys out there, yeah, I think this could well be the best compact camera on the market. And yeah, you'd expect that for the price. But remember, you're getting some seriously decent 4K video. You're getting some great slow motion. You're getting a nice fast zoom. You're getting, well, that 1-inch type sensor. Well, it is a type sensor, but it's not 1 inch in the way the marketing crowd want us to believe. You've got this fantastic, slightly awkward EVF with the diopter on the top there. You've got a decent app. You've got the Wi-Fi to link up with your phone. Not bad. USB charging, tiny little batteries. Yeah, the battery life's not amazing, but get more batteries, use USB. That's no problem at all. And it feels good. It's a premium bit of kit. Yeah, they've done the best to try and keep it compact, keep it usable, and not go crazy with buttons that many want. You're not going to get an extra card slot in there at the moment. Maybe, you never know. The designers have probably got something on the go there. Maybe smaller cards, maybe start to use micro SD. Who knows what's going to happen in the future. Even the fill-in flash was decent. I mean, I don't use it too often, but I found it was a nice little feature, nice bit of fun, and frankly, I'm glad they put it in. The movie button on the back, yeah, I mean, it looks nice, and there's a nice little bit of a grippy point there, but it was a bit awkward, to be honest, to trigger at times, especially when I was in selfie mode, but I think I'd get used to that too. Got this from Calumet in Birmingham. Get your hands on it, test it out. I think you'll find that technology sometimes isn't a scary word. Now, of course, it doesn't have the magic of our beloved Fujis, for example, but this is a technical tool ready to get the job done, and to be honest, it gets a fantastic job done. So the camera is just a tool, and you can make the magic happen without the thing already having its own poetry built in. This is not going to replace anything in my kit at the moment, but, and I'll say it again, if I had the money and I needed a pocketable camera, this would be it. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think if you've experienced with this camera, especially if you've upgraded from any of the other models. Let us know what you think. Now, there are other compacts out there that are fantastic, that I want to go into a bit more depth, and that frankly are way cheaper, but I don't think they really stand up to this as an all-in-one winner. I mean, I even almost bought a G7X2 once, but the lack of mic socket put me off. There's comparisons online between the two, and frankly, I think you can buy a few G7X2s for the price of this, so, you know. Thanks for watching. Hope it's been of some use, if not a little bit of fun. The samples were very random, but there you go. One weekend with this compact, feature-packed, but slightly awkward offering from Sony. Right. I'm off to take this back and shed a tear over my iPhone 6 screen. I'm only joking. It's just material. It doesn't really matter. But at least I didn't drop this.